All right, guys, I've been slacking and doing this. We got to get everything arranged. I don't think I went live. I was in Florida last weekend. And first, I'm going to ramble here for a while. Basically, you guys know the drill on how I do this. I'm going to ramble here for a while about some things. I'm going to set this where I can read it a little bit. Guys, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, go over and do that. You just got to subscribe. Don't cost any money. Just subscribe to it. And or on YouTube, I got an Instagram page. I've got a lot going on with social media right now. I got an Instagram page. Go over and I add stuff onto there too. Not necessarily everything that I do with Facebook. You guys can see I'm already tapped out on 5,000, but I have where you can follow me. So at least, start following me. That way you can get these, Facebook Live. A lot of stuff I want to talk about, and what I want to do these for, a lot of information in them, and I'm getting feedback. When I was in Florida last weekend, I got feedback from a lot of you guys. We're talking about you love the Facebook Live. You love getting information out there that a lot of people actually don't talk about. And I just so happen to be in a position where for years I've talked to a bunch of people about certain things and not really had a platform more than shit. When I first started doing this 14 years ago, I really didn't have a big platform. It took a long time to build it where it is right now. And I think we're doing a pretty good job getting a lot of information out there to the seniors, not only with senior softball bat reviews. I've got a good group of guys too, 8 of them that actually on the same page. And we talked about this last week. Everybody contributes. I was talking to Chino and I talked to Trey. Before I get too started into this, I want to thank all the military people out there, that sacrificed. And I want to give a big shout out to all my military guys out there this weekend. Really do appreciate everything you've done for us. And all of my guys are on the same page when it comes to that. Clem is actually ex-military, Richard Clem, ex-military. I'll talk about something here in a minute. I'm fighting a bronchitis, so I've been coughing for the last 3 weeks. I've been doing this shit. But when we first started doing it, we never knew it was going to get this big. After Florida, guys, it's big what we do, and that was a lot of people in Florida. I only talked to a few of you guys, but I don't get, I said this before. I get a little where I'm not embarrassed of it, but I'm reaching a lot of people. We are reaching a lot of people when it comes to this. And I think, that we have branched off to other things, working out, for seniors and nutritional stuff for seniors, and then the bat reviews, and then the training that on my membership channel that I have. You guys can join that membership channel. I've got bat giveaways on that membership channel twice a month. I'm going to do 2 more this weekend on these extra bats that we have left over. And then now it's off season. Everybody is done with Worlds. We did Vegas. Well, they did Vegas, and then other teams I just went to watch. But we had Winter Worlds last week in Florida, and I met a bunch of great people. I had the wife with me, and she was walking away, and because I just talk I love talking, and you guys know that I always go over whenever I'm talking here. But I was at very good. The only problem that we had in Florida is the field was Boomba Sports Complex, and the wind blows very hard there. And guys, that's you've got to change your game whenever you're playing with the wind, either blowing at your back, at your face, or from left to right, right to left. It's a constant battle, especially with pitchers. Seen a lot of people walked, especially when that crosswind was coming over. And you actually had to flatten the ball out, and umpires ain't calling it. You got to keep it high. Dang it. I'll get rid of it in a minute. So I met a lot of great people there. coming up and talking to me. Hey, appreciate for what you're doing. The biggest things that I got whenever I was in, there was some people that came up to me, and there was, I think, 3 or 4 different things. And one of them was, the one of them was, I thought you were taller. I am 5'9". Oh, he goes, I guess the camera makes you look like you're 6 foot, 6'2". And I go, no, I'm not that. Chino's that. I'm not that. But I am 5'9", and I guess it surprised a lot of people when they're standing next to me because I'm not that tall. There's a picture out there on Facebook with me standing next to one of the Onyx reps, and he's got to be 7 foot tall. He's like a foot taller than me. And that was like, look, I was so small next to him. But that was one of the biggest, not the biggest, but one of the 3 things that I got there. The next thing was my wife hates you. I got a few of those, and I've got those over the last few years because, a lot of guys will tell me that they stay up late watching, the podcast, or watch a review, or watching behind the scenes, just to get input on what we're talking about. And the wife, they're coming up and tell me, yeah, my wife does not like you. And I'm like, man, I'm sorry about that. One of the other things that I got from a lot of people is, we never knew, the one thing, if you guys watch the videos that I put out there, and I always, good or bad, guys, I always put videos out there. I had one bad game in Florida, and somebody come up to me and said, I guess that game's not going to get on, one of my teammates, I guess that game's not going to get on YouTube. I said, yeah, I post all of them, good or bad, doesn't matter. If I bat 300 in a tournament, it's going up, guys. And, that doesn't bother me. But I like posting. I like posting my videos. That way you see, and I think a lot of people need to do this out there too, is post all of their videos, especially if they have a platform. If you got a platform like we have, I think you need to post all of your videos of your games. That way, when you talk like I do, and talking to you guys, you'll know where I'm coming from, or what I can actually do. So I think a lot of these guys out there that get out there and they just talk about a bat and how great the bat is, and you don't know anything about them. Well, I have a resume of videos for the last 14 years. And I've always videotaped my games. You can go back and look at them, and I always put them out there. That way, when you watch me talk or hear me talk, I at least have some credibility behind me about the way I can play. Well, the biggest thing I got when I was in Florida is, we never knew you hit like that. Because if you notice in the video, I do a lot of tomahawking, especially with 2 strikes. And I usually did it with 2 strikes because that's just another weapon that I have. So I'll actually reach up and I'll pull my hands up and I'll tomahawk for base hits, and then I only hit 1 home run in 6 games. My game is not the blowing home runs. It's not. It hasn't been for years. Back when I had the aluminum bat days, yes, I would number 4 batter, number 5 batter, but I had the table set for me before they got to me. So it's not, I've hit Paul Sadler. I was hitting batting practice. He's right there. I was at Woodlawn Hitting Club, and I was getting ready for a tournament, and I was just hitting middles, 5-6-0 down the line, hitting gaps. And Paul popped off and said, hey, you can hit a home run every once in a while. And I said, well, it kind of messes me up whenever all I'm focused on is when I go and just start hitting home runs. So I'm when I was up in Florida, that's the biggest thing. We never knew that you hit like that, slapping the ball. If you guys watch a few of my videos, I was hitting 3 hoppers through 5-6-0 that were getting through, slapping the ball up the middle, changing my swing. We all do that. It's just not me. It's all of the guys that actually, what's up, Chino? All the guys that hit with me, Chino too, when we need a base hit, we can hit a base hit. The problem with what you guys are seeing is y'all guys don't see that, right? Y'all just see us trying to hit them as far as we can. And I think it was Chino that there were some guys from Canada was asking him, hey, we would like to see some videos of you guys just, what's up, Charlie Mueller? Chino had said, hey, there's some guys in Canada we're talking to them about, hey, y'all need to do at least 1 round. And we are going to implement this into our bat reviews is the base hits. Because we do work on that, especially getting ready for a tournament. We do work on base hits. But problem with, y'all don't see that because y'all want to see a bat review. Y'all want to see how far the balls are being hit. And the best way to do that is hit the ball as far as you can. And we kind of judge a bat. There's different things that we judge a bat on. See how far, what kind of distance we got, the exit speed through the infield, the carry that it has, and the control. Like Billy Blake, Bubba Blake, was talking about that the other day where he was hitting on Tuesday, I mean Thursday. He's hitting on Thursday, and he liked the way a bat performed, but he wanted to see if he can control it to the infield and hit 5-6 hole or hit that ball up the middle. That's one thing that you guys don't see on the review part is the control that we have. You just got to take our word for it when I get up here and say, hey, this is the badass bat. This is the top tier bat. This is the top 5 bat. And this is the best bat out there because we can control it. Believe it or not, guys, it goes deeper, and I want to get this across to a lot of you guys out there. It goes deeper than just weight distribution, handle flex, barrel performance. It goes deeper than that. You got to have control. You got to have, not really light handle weight. Me and Clem talked about this. He hasn't chimed in yet. But when we are in shirts, hitting in shirts, me and Clem talked about the control. You go too light on the hands, you're going to lose control, but you're going to get a lot of distance because that barrel is going to perform for you a little bit better. If you go too heavy on the hands, you're going to lose performance on distance because you're not going to have that sledge effect, not going to compress that barrel. So a lot of you guys that out there that own those bats or that have those bats, it's a formula, and I said this from the beginning, it's a formula you have to put together, and you got to get it right to actually help the bat perform. There's a formula for balance, there's a formula for half-ounce end loads, full-ounce end loads, and a lot of, believe it or not, a lot of bat companies out there don't know that. They don't know the weight distribution. They got bats out there, they're calling them a 3/4 ounce or a full ounce, and they got loaded up on the hands. Well, that's not really what it is, There is a lot of people, I know the formula. A lot of people ask me for the formula. I don't give it out because you've got engineers, guys, that you pay really good money to, and your engineers are calling me or want to get in contact with me about what is your handle flex on a 17.2 end load. Figure it out. And if you guys watch my videos and you're just not tuning in, you know what it is. You know what it is. I've talked about it on video. Billy Blake has talked about it on video. So you know what it is. What a lot of these guys want to do is they want the easy way. Let's just call them up and ask them. That way we don't have to sit here for 2 years or a year trying to figure out what that formula is. There are a couple of bat companies out there that know what the hell they're talking about. Probably more than a couple that know what they're talking about. I'm getting way too far into that shit. You guys see that? I'm going to talk about that here in a minute. Something that I talk about and something that I have done right here. You can see this little thing I'm going to use. I'm going to do this on TV. This is on live. That place right there. Here she is. Was it 15 minutes already?
Yes.
Okay. This is Leanne. This is Liao, Roseanne. She's going to hook me up, guys. I did this before Florida. And I talk about this, and I'm going to talk about it some more as soon as she hooks me up and let you guys know and let you guys see, because I needed one today. She owns a hydration house here in San Antonio. If you guys need, and basically it's a bag. Thank you.
You're welcome.
She's going to be back in a minute. But let me talk about this before I start talking about everything else. And basically what she's doing is, this is the one that I'm on right now. Get up and go. That's it right there. And I know it's backwards, guys, but this stuff has it's got an amino blend. It's got vitamin Bs, ornithine, arginine, lysine. Arginine is very good for the heart. Opens up blood vessels, very good. Tell you what they did, arginine. What they did with arginine, whenever I went in to get my pituitary gland checked for growth hormone, but one of the stimulants for growth hormone is L-arginine. So actually pumping, I can feel it's cold, right? So pumping this into me is actually helping my pituitary gland secrete more growth hormone. Anytime you put L-arginine, and what they do whenever you go and get when you go and get tested, it's called a stem test. It actually pumping L-arginine. They actually gave me the shot in the shoulder, and then they check your HGH levels for the next 5 hours every 30 minutes. But L-arginine is one of the amino acids that they actually use. This is, and then I have the infusion. You guys think, you probably saw it in her hand when she brought it in. And I did this before Florida when I went up there to play. I knew I was going to get dehydrated when I went up there. And what I did was I did this on Wednesday morning. I left on Wednesday afternoon. I got up there Wednesday night. I hit on Thursday. And then Friday, we started to play. And my hydration was at its peak because I have a bag up here too. My hydration, it was at its peak, and then I felt really good. I felt hydrated. But what happens is this doesn't last this just gets you started. It doesn't last the whole tournament. I played 3 different days. So what I have to do is I got to this just gets me going. It's got with the hydration. All the other stuff is in me. All the aminos, all the vitamin Bs are in me. The zinc, it's got zinc in it too. All the zinc and everything is there with me. This is immunity. That's a different one. All the B vitamins, amino acids, orthine, arginine, that's already there. It's not going to come out unless I pee it out or get too much of it. But the hydration on Saturday night, I had to hydrate. I keep hydrating. And also what I do take too is I take your liquid IV, basically. And like I said, there's a protocol on taking liquid IV. I've said it in the past on what it is when you're getting ready to play tournaments. Now, guys, you guys are winding down this year. This is for next year, and I'll put out a lot more videos on that about hydration, because guys, you lose 40% of your strength when you're dehydrated. And that's the one thing that I actually didn't want to do when I was in Florida. I wanted to be as strong on Sunday as I was on Friday when I went in, and I was, because this is a proven fact, and I do this. This is the way. It's not for everybody, but this is the way to the future. This is the way to the future. This is what a lot of athletes in the next 5 years are going to start doing. They're already doing it in football, pro football. They're already doing it in basketball. When they come back, they get hydrated. When they come back, they get hydrated. And it makes you where you don't have that missing link when it comes to hydration when you're going there, because you do work out. You put time in the gym. And guys, you're at a disadvantage. If you're working out, you put time in the gym and you're out there hitting, and then what comes next is your nutritional part. If you're not completely hydrated, all that shit is just kicked out. It doesn't, I need to quit reading you guys shit. Especially Kip. What you guys, with the hydration, you lose 40% of your strength. And when you're out there, and everything you've done to try to get there is it's blown out. You're done. You're done. And it takes you at least a day, 24 hours to get rehydrated again. And by that time, tournament can be over with. This is called immunity. Now, this has got a bunch of good stuff in it. Zinc, vitamin C, the B vitamins, but it's got zinc in it too. Zinc sulfate. Guys talk about COVID. Zinc sulfate is probably the best zinc, because there's different kinds of zinc, just like there is different kinds of magnesium. Magnesium glycinate is what I take, magnesium glycinate, because all the other magnesium do not even do it. This is the immunity. You guys, being the cold weather come around, this is one thing you guys need to take. This is some badass. And here's the deal too, absorption when it comes to all of this. This, like I said, vitamin B, the B vitamins, zinc, vitamin C, aspartic acid. That is that one. And here's the deal too. Cold weather's coming around. So you want to get ready for the flu season. And it's just not for sports, although the hydration is great for you too. but all the other stuff. And the reason, okay, I talk about, here's one for you. I talk about, I talk about the magnesium. That's one of them too. Your body only absorbs 30 to 40%. Your body only absorbs 20 to 30% of that pill that you consume. What happens with the acid in your stomach is the acid actually eats a lot of that stuff up before it gets into your digestive system. There he is. Gets to your digestive system. So the rest doesn't even get to your bloodstream, which goes into your bloodstream. So 30% of any kind of tablet that you consume, because it's got to go through your stomach. Your stomach tears it down so much. This is another one that I take, benfotiamine. This is very good stuff right there. Thiamine, it's actually B1. And it's called, make sure you get the benfotiamine. So what happens with this that I'm hooked up to is I'm getting 100% of everything that's in my body. Because it's not going through my digestive system, which is going to tear it down and get rid of a lot of it. Let me get to a lot of stuff that I need to talk about because I'm talking way too much into that. And I don't want to be here all night. Shaving bats. I might go in front of that. What do I need to do in front of that? Real fast. There was a video. There was something that I put up the other day that actually a lot of people out there understand. And I hope when I talk about it that you'll understand it too. And I really do believe in this because I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen with my family. I've seen it happen to softball players that actually decide to retire and stay at home and don't do anything. There is a saying out there, and it's a meme, and I actually put it out there. I see if I can find it. What is it? We don't stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing. Guys, that is a proof. That is a statement that is actually true. And I think when a lot of you guys are out there and you're enjoying yourself, I've seen it in Florida. You guys are enjoying yourself on the field and you're having a great time. And it's just, I get excited about it because you guys are not sitting at home on your ass and growing old. You actually have to do stuff. Even if it's not softball, it's something else. Walking, getting out of the house, weightlifting, weight training, getting out, going to a gym, or you have your home gym, go to that. Playing golf. A lot of you guys out there like to play golf. 100% agree with that, because if you're not stimulating the brain, you know what happens? It dies. When you're actually adding stuff to it, as we're kids, as we're infants growing up, we always want that brain stimulation, right? Because we're like a sponge even until we die. So you got to stimulate it. If you sit at home and watch TV and not do anything and you're just laying around, in my opinion, you're dying. That's just a fact that I really do believe in. That's how come I try to do as much. Another thing too, and it really pisses me off whenever I see this and I get so mad. I kind of back away from it a little bit because I try to be confrontational, but the platform that I have, I can't be, and I've kind of blow it off because a lot of these guys are so negative about other people. Or they got to say something. I've had people chime in about us that talk about, why am I sitting there watching guys with 80-mile-an-hour swings? Why don't we get somebody in there with my swing? Okay, Dick. And then other people would talk shit about, why are they doing a review on that bat? These guys have ugly swings or something like that. We've heard it all through the years. We've heard everything. And my biggest deal about that, you don't know us. You don't know what we've been through. I don't know you. If you're out there hitting, I'm not going to say anything about you because I don't know what you're there for, right? What a lot of people, and I'm going to tell you this for a fact, and Johnny Bailey said something about it today, and I was going to talk about it tonight. And he talks in that same little clip, he does memes too. And Johnny Bailey talked about therapy, depression. Go to the gym. If you have anxieties, go to the gym, because he didn't say his, but that is therapy for a lot of people. I tell you what, when I was growing up, my therapy was the gym. Okay. Dealing with issues as a kid, my therapy was the gym. It actually helped me. And then I found softball at 21 years old. That was therapy for me. So I love playing it. I played it a lot, 5 days a week. And then I played tournaments on weekends every weekend. So that was my therapy. That was my release. Guys, as we get older, we need that. Got to have that therapy, and we got to have that release. You have guys in there, ex-military. I just talked about it earlier, ex-military that have PTSD. You guys that got out there that have been through shit in their life, you know, that are non-military, that they just have trouble coping. Hit the gym. Pick up and play softball. Talk to people, you know, that are there. Create a friendship with a lot of other people. That's therapy. So it kind of bothers me when people don't know what the hell they're talking about, comes in and as mean as shit or tries to pop off and say shit, you know, because they don't know who we are. They don't know who the people out there that have that videos are going through. And I think one of the biggest releases when it comes, like Johnny Bailey talked about working out, it has been for me on working out. Well, one of the biggest releases for, you know, for coping with life, especially nowadays, or coping. Just recently, we had one of our guys that lost a loved one, and I was hoping him get back out there, that hits with us, and get back out there and just start hanging out with the guys, and he'll know who I'm talking about here in a minute. We all do. Is I like I told Bubba, I hope he gets out here fast because he had a loved one that died. I hope he gets out here fast and gets away from that and just sit out here and just talk to the guys. Not necessarily talk about what happened. Just sit there and go through the motions, hit, you know, because it does release stress. I think that's the biggest thing. And I'm glad that he came out and hit with us on, Tuesday. He came out and hit. And I'm glad of that. And I hope it helped him, you know, at least take a little bit of the stress off, get back to the normal things that he was doing for the last 6-7 years. So, and I'm glad he came out. Can you lower that? Can they see that? This stuff that I'm taking, I don't know if you guys can see that. This stuff that I'm taking is green. It looks like Gatorade, actually.
It does look like Gatorade.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. She's supposed to check on me every 15 minutes because if this thing goes down, I've got to get it. And I'm talking and I got this big ass thing in my arm. But Hydration House is who we go through. She actually is on here. She put up her website. You guys can get it. She actually put it up here. Hydration House, San Antonio. She's off of Northwest Bandera Road in 1604. If any of my guys in here from San Antonio know, she'll take care of you. Get over. Her name's Roseanne Liao. See, I got it right that time. Guys, but getting back from Florida, let me talk about it. I love Florida. I love the people in Florida. The one thing I wish that San Antonio had that Florida does have is a lot of communities that are actually out there and they participate. They have a lot of softball. You know, if I was talking to Jerry Stotts the other day and I said, man, this is the place, because Jerry could have retired in San Antonio, ex-military, and he decided to go to Florida, and he's one of those Florida guys. Yes, Bandera Road. It's next to Gold's Gym, Clem, on the outside of 1604. Tell them who you are when you go in there and or when you call her and set up an appointment. What the communities down there, they were telling me all these communities that are actually subdivisions or whatever that actually play against each other and have these nice ass fields. Guys, I'm from San Antonio. They just closed the last softball park in San Antonio. What is it? Almost 2 million people in San Antonio, and we don't have a nice ass ballpark. The city bought up the best one that we had here. It was actually a big complex, 8-field complex. City bought it up and turned it into a baseball field, softball field for girls, you know, high school and stuff like that. So we don't have anything here. We have Normal for the seniors. I don't play at Normal. It's too far a drive for me. And I don't think the fields are adequate. I think the fields are shitty, actually. The batter's box especially. Matter of fact, every time I played in that batter's box, I've gotten hurt. So I think that's a shame that you go to Florida and you see all of this stuff going on. and then you come back to San Antonio and you're like, oh man, it's just somebody just invest some money into a nice ass ballpark, because they would get a lot of people that actually is. And I'm just talking about San Antonio. I'm not talking about Kerrville. Kerrville has their own shit. You know, I know New Braunfels and Austin has their own shit too. So let me talk about shaving here for a minute. And I'm not going to get too lengthy in the shaving part. I just want to talk about some things because I got a lot of other shit I want to talk about. I got out of Florida. I talked to a few guys in there that, you know, kind of pulled me off to the side and started talking about, you know, people that shave bats in Florida, you know, and it's basically about the same. The one thing I do want to bring to you guys' attention, yes, I did hear some bats were kind of suspect, but not as many as I heard in Vegas. Like Vegas, I was catching, because I am a catcher. And I was catching, I'm like, okay, there's something going on there, you know. And then I'm in Florida, and there wasn't really a lot of big, because I played 60s, there wasn't really a lot of big bombs going on. I'm like, oh, okay, that's suspect, because you're hitting against the wind and you hit that ball. You know, I've tested that bat, and that bat ain't shit, you know. So it wasn't really that bad. I did hear a few, though. Well, getting away from that, you know, and I didn't go over and watch the 50s or the 55s play. So I'm just telling you, the one thing that I am, and I think Patty Albright brought this to my attention, was there was a guy that tried to get on one of my pages, and she had told me that the guy was and he tried to friend me, and he was a well-known shaver. So I looked at his friendship, and he had 4,000 something. Okay, guys, I have 5,000 followers. I understand that. Okay, I have 5,000 followers, but my join, if you want to watch me and you're going to join, I have 1,500 followers. And you guys see, I've got 44 watching right now. And by tomorrow, this video, 24 hours of video, have 2,000 to 3,000 views on it. So it's going to be shared a lot. This guy, well-known bat shaver, and that's all he does. And he is promoting bat shaving. You can go through him. He has 11,000 followers. 11,000 followers. He does U-Trip, he does ASA, and he does senior bats. He's got 11,000 guys. That's shit ton more than me. And I thought my platform was big, but just because he's a bat shaver, he has 11,000 followers. This shit, and that's just one guy, you know. It's rampant, and I just put that in there. It's a problem that I hope next year that we start addressing it a little bit better. And I don't know where the future is going to go with that. I talked to somebody the other day where if you can put a, you know, I got to keep that right arm down. I can't be bending it. But if somebody would come out with something that you can put a chip in the bottom in this and just put it in there and make it where if you can make it where if it's tampered with, you know, and then have an app, you know, to the umpires, and all you have to do is before they start the game, he just runs that, you know, over the top and check to see if that bat's been tampered with or not, you know, and they just stick a chip in it. If I would pay $5 more a bat just to have that done, you know, and I'm sure you guys would too. You know, somebody was talking about, I said this in a video, and I think they were talking to me about this too, is it would be so easy, because I talked to a couple of guys, Brian Banks being one of them, where I did not know that, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I hear this from other people, is, you know, you can actually take an end cap and glue it back in, and it's not altering the bat. Now, I think if that is the case, that instead of chopping bats up, let's just pull the end caps on them and then throw it back out there, and then just have them go buy an end cap and stick it back out there, or whoever protested, you know, you're not going to destroy the bat. You can still use it by just popping an end cap. Guys, it does nothing to the performance of the bat if you pop that end cap out. I just didn't know it wasn't illegal. to actually put that in, glue that end cap yourself back in. I did not know that. And they're telling me that it's not illegal to do that. Well, hell, there you go. You know, end caps, what, 30, 40 bucks? You know, pay the guy pay him for his time. Give him $100, you know, if you want to protest somebody. I think, and then videotape it, you know, popping the end cap off, looking in there, you know, get a light, look in there, see if it's been shaved, because you can tell if it's been shaved. Another thing too, what they're doing is flex seal. They're flex sealing when they shave them. They're flex sealing the inside of that bat to make it last a little bit longer, because it does help with, for one, keeping that wall that they just shaved moisture. You know, because Flex Seal does have some little bit of moisture. So it's oil that they put it together with that soaks into that barrel, actually helps it flex a little bit better, and actually keeps it where it doesn't, you know, at least 200 swings where it doesn't destroy your bat from shaving it alone. So I did have a pen here. Yeah, there it is. I don't know what I did with it. A lot of you guys, there was let me talk about a couple of things here before and I want to talk about a 1-in-1 count. They started going to a 1-in-1 count a few years ago, and a lot of people are asking me my opinion on that. I think, and I've worked with a 1-in-1 count, I've pitched with a 1-in-1 count, I've hit with a 1-in-1 count in USSSA most of my life. When I went to ASA, you know, later on, it was a 0-0 count. The game kind of dragged on a little bit, you know, and I think what happens with that is you get lackadaisical at the plate. You tend to look at too many pitchers. I'm the firm believer as you get on, when you're on the on deck circle, you're watching a lot of the pitches that are being thrown. I think that you get ramped up. And I think this is good. You get that adrenaline going where first good one he throws me, because when you play in that major and major plus level, you tend to get a pitcher that actually is going to try to work you, and have very good pitchers. You don't go up there looking for walks. You know, very seldom do I walk up to the plate looking for walks. Now, if a pitcher's struggling, yes, I'll do that. You know, I'm not ashamed of walking, guys. It's a hit in my books. So what I do with a 1-in-1 count, which I love 1-in-1 counts. For one, and the pitcher has got to think a little bit better. You know, pitcher's got to try to get that first strike in there. He's got to make it where it's not really a feeding down the middle, because you can jump on it. You know, so it's a battle. It's a constant mind battle. Is he going to gut me the first pitch? Is he going to get me the second pitch? If he gets pitched me 2 balls, he's going to feed me. You know, or maybe he's trying to go to the next guy. Those are mind games that I love playing when I play softball. I think your batting average goes up when you're up to the plate, not looking for a walk. I think it actually is better when you walk to the plate and you're going, I'm just going to hit, and that's from batting practice. I'm going to hit the first pitch that is around the plate that I like, and I'm going to hit on that one. I'm not going to let him get ahead of me, because once he gets ahead of you, if you got a good pitcher, he's in charge of you. You know, if I was pitching, if I got one on you, like in U-Trip, I was throwing 3 different balls around that plate trying to mess with you. And if I walked you, well, then you won that battle. But next time I'm going to do different. You know, I'm going to throw you something a little bit closer. So I think it's more of a mind, but I love a 1-in-1 count. You know, I think it benefits the batter as he has to get more aggressive. And I think it benefits the pitcher, because it's a little bit more thinking. He's got to try to sneak one in there. He gets one on you, and now he can do whatever he wants to, and he's going to try to nibble around the plate. That's when you got to get it. You got to take a lot more BP. You got to hit them balls around the plate. You can't get that ball fed to you anymore, because it turns into a pitcher's game now when they have that on that 1-on-1 count. So it's a totally different approach that a lot of you guys need to look at. I think it speeds up the game with a 1-on-1 count. I love a 1-on-1 count, you know, and I think I think it makes batters more aggressive, is what I'm saying. So guys come up and talk to me about, what do you think about 1-on-1 count? Well, there you go. That's what I think about it. Shaved, I talk about that. I talked about that. Pitching screens for the first time. And I really couldn't say nothing about it. I've been asked about it for a couple of 3 years. I think the future is going that way. I played 2 games, I think, with the screen. As a hitter, I love it. The reason is because I can blow middle the first time up. You know, especially with that 1-on-1 count, they throw me something over the middle. I'm going to try to blow middle, you know, and because I know I'm not going to hurt anybody. And I'm going to try to blow middle. And if I get it past that screen, you know, it's going to go, unless you're playing a 5-man, which why would you play a 5-man with a pitching screen? Because a lot of people with 2 strikes try to stay away from that middle. So that's the only downfall. Then it's in the pitcher's hands when, it actually benefits. It's like the 1-on-1 strike. It actually benefits both sides when it comes to that pitching screen. You got 2 strikes. You got 2 strikes on you. If I was as a pitcher, I'm throwing you outside. I want you to come middle because I want you to hit that screen and get you out, right? And then as a hitter, you don't have strikes on me. So my thought process when I stepped up to the plate was, I'm gonna hit middle. I'm gonna try to hit as hard as I can up the middle because I know I'm not gonna hit him. So I like it. It's gonna help some people, and from right now you can either have it, or you don't want to have it. I think, just my opinion, if you have a team that's blowing middle a lot, instead of getting a 5-man, I think what you do is you pull that screen in there, even though you might not like it because this team goes middle, and they're going to be aware like there's a screen there, especially with 2 strikes on you, and they're going to want to go somewhere else. So you're changing their game up. So I think, again, guys, this turns into a mental thing, and I think softball has always been that with me. It's a mental thing. And I think it messes with people hitting, and I think it helps a lot of people, especially if you have control. You can throw that ball outside, have them try to hit it up the middle. So that's a thing that a lot of people are talking about. First time I've hit it, and a lot of people are looking down on it. Yeah, I don't judge people like that. I don't look down on it. If you want to use it, fine, that's you. I can't tell you. Be in control of your own self. Don't be in control of what other people are doing. There's a reason why they're doing it. Don't give a shit. I grew up. Don't give a shit. Who cares? If they want to use the screen, let them use the screen. And don't talk shit about them using the screen. So you don't know what they've been through. You don't know that they got hit. Or you don't know, they're great pitchers, but with the screen makes them even better because they don't know how to fear that ball coming up the middle, especially with shaved bats. That same guy that says, screen, screen, screen. Why don't you talk about bats being shaved? I think it's gotten to that where you got to do something. If the organizations aren't doing something about shaved bat, throw a screen out there. That way the pitcher is not afraid of getting smoked up the middle by a shaved bat, because even if they are, you're not going to do anything with a bat. You're not going to check it. You're not going to confiscate it or anything like that. There was something else that was in there that I was going to start talking about. Chino asked me to help coach a team. Chino asked me to, and I said, I'm not going to coach, I'm going to play. He goes, you're going to play and coach. So I've been asked out of San Antonio, Texas, and I think they got some players out of Dallas, the Valley, Houston. Charlie Mueller is going to come along and play. It's called Powerhouse Schooners, which Schooner is Trey Roberts going to play. First time I played with Trey in 30 plus years. Powerhouse Schooners, 55 major. We have committed, me and Charlie and Donnie King have committed to play with them. They're building a great 55 major team, I think. I looked at the people playing on that team, and I think it's going to be a really good team. And plus, I can get into the helping Chino coach a little bit too, and giving him my input. Not really being the coach, but just telling him, talking to him about, because I like the mental part of, I wouldn't one day, I've coached girls before, took them to the national championship. So, Chino, I think I've coached girls before, and if you can coach girls, guys, you can coach guys. Girls are hard to coach. I'm a little different coach, and I don't know if Herb Oliver's watching this too, and he's kind of on the same page as I am. I run it more as a business. I'll talk to Chino about, I don't like playing 14 guys, 13 guys just to get their swings in. Even if they are batting 750, you got to have a 900 hitter. That's, if you're going to run 12, you got to have 2 800 hitters. It's just my thought process. If you lose, if you're in the bracket play and you lose, and you play 10 or 11 all the way out to the end, that's just what I think. You don't play 12 all the way out to the end. Get through that lineup. You want them top batters to have more at bats, but that's the mental part of it too. You don't want those. You want those top 5 guys to have one more at bat in that game, are at the end of the tournament. And usually when you run 10 or 11, that's what's going to happen. They're going to get 5 more at bats. I know the numbers. They're going to get 5 more at bats at the end if you run in 10. 4 more, 3 more if you run in. If they're going back and forth. One thing about major ball, when you're running back and forth and you're scoring 5 and 5, 5 major plus, you're scoring 7, 7, 7, usually who wins the game, most of the time, I'm not saying 100% of the time, but most of the time who wins that game in the buffet is your top 5 guys will win that in the buffet. So, Powerhouse Schooners, which is Trey Roberts' bar here in San Antonio on the north side. That is his bar, and he's going to be part of it. A lot of good ball players on there. I know probably half of them, maybe a little bit more, but that's be something that that Chino is putting together. Because Chino's been coaching teams for as long as I know, and he's going to get in there and run it. And they got a hell of a schedule coming up too. A lot of out of town tournaments. And plus, probably going to play some 60s this year, too. And with Charlie, or try to play it with Charlie and Donnie King, because I like Donnie King. I love the way he plays. Not talking shit. He doesn't talk shit. He just gets out there and plays his game. So that's that team for next year. First time I've been coaching in 22 years, 23 years, because I coached my wife a long time ago. I talked about, guys, we don't swing, as you see in the videos, we don't swing the same way. We don't swing the same way we do in the videos. And Chino had talked about this, and we do 4 rounds. We're probably going to do a video, or 1 round in that video. We're just hitting the ball down, because it's not all about, it's all about control. When you're picking, like when we pick these bats, whenever we're doing these reviews, it's not about how distance you get. Because if that was true, what you can only do is you can make a bat with a 7-ounce end load and put a 16, 9, 17 on the end, and you're going to get hell of a lot of distance. But what people don't understand is, a lot of bat companies don't understand this, is, you go up on the handle weight, you start gaining a little bit of control. So your distance, you only got a 300-foot fence. So your distance is going to go, maybe you're not going to hit that 450-foot home run. Maybe you'll bring it down to 400-foot home run if you go up on the handle weight, because there's less flex, less flex on the barrel. That's the formula shit that we always talk about. But what a lot of people don't understand is, you go up on the handle weight, not too much, but that's a formula. There's a number there, guys. How much more time we got? Oh, it's about halfway, isn't it?
You're halfway. Yeah, you should be halfway.
Okay.
Jump in the middle real quick. Okay.
Is it still dropping?
Yes, you're keeping your arms straight. Good job.
You been watching or something? That is Roseanne. She owns that. This is where I've been doing this for years, guys. A few years. After COVID, especially, I started doing this. After I got COVID. But yeah, guys, it's when we decide about a bat, and you guys don't know this, and I'll talk about this in a separate video. But when we decide on the performance on a bat, it's got to be the formula that actually matches. It's not how far you can hit it, because you can get big muscle head up there, 40-year-old kid, 39, going to be 40, and he can pick up any bat and just blow it because he's compressing that wall. But what they don't understand, and they talk shit about because they don't know shit, is that as you get older, the bat speed diminishes. What I'm seeing a lot now is a lot of the balanced bats have tougher barrels on them. Who built that shit? Who's, because you don't have that mass to compress that wall. So basically you're swinging a log. It feels like a balanced bat because it's got 10-4, 10-5, 10-6 on the hands, and your end weight's a 16.5 up to a 17. So they automatically look, it's a balanced bat, and they get out there, but the wall is hard. The barrel is hard. That does nothing for you, because they're not thinking you got to make that barrel, and I'll do a separate video on my membership channel on this. You got to on that barrel, you have to have where that barrel's soft enough, because you do have no mass, or you do have big handle weight. So you don't have that mass to compress that wall, so you can go softer on the barrel, and you get better performance out of it. What I see as of Tuesday and Thursday of this last week, I got a few balance bats in from these new balance these new companies out there, not new companies, but they're starting to get into senior ball. A lot of your TPS and a lot of your other companies are, what's in the monster bats, pure bats are coming in because they've got that market with the U-triple and the ASA. So they want to get into senior ball. And I'm strictly just talking about senior ball here. So they don't have that high bat speed when you start coming into that. They've always worked on fast bat speed. Because in your 20s, 30s, and 40s, I've been there, because in your 20s, 30s, and 40s, you have that tremendous bat speed. Very seldom you have a 25-year-old, 30-year-old swinging 50 miles an hour. So when they step into that market of seniors, they don't rethink the shit anymore. Which means that you got to soften up that barrel a little bit if you're going to go balanced. You know, even on end loads, depending on bat speed, you can throw an end load in there, you know, but you got to have that barrel that's soft, because you have that 50 miles an hour. That's how come on my website, you know, you guys can go to that and you see all my different numbers. And, you know, the soft barrel, the medium barrel, and the hard barrel, a lot of people don't understand that. You know, we don't get it. Well, hell, you're not 60 years old either. You know, you're not 65 or 70, so you wouldn't get it. You know, so that's, we go far further than anybody else, I think, because you can't only just build a bat for performance and throw it out there. It's got to have consistency. And that has a lot to do with the formula. Am I going to talk to you about the formula? No, I'm not. I'm talking about you bat review guys. Not you bat review guys. You bat guys that own the bat companies. No, I'm not going to build your shit for you. And I've had this happen, guys. You know, they'll call me, what's your balance points? What's your handle flex? You know, and I know them. But why? And then this is what, and I've told this in the past, what's going to happen is I'm going to sit there and talk about your shit. And you're going to tell me, and I'm going to tell you this is what you need to fix. And then you put up a video with your star player and say, I've been in the shop and I've been tweaking this shit. And I've been with my engineer and we came up with da-da-da. It's a top 5 of senior softball bat reviews. No, I'm not going to do that. Have them figured out like we did. Have them work on it. You know, test it like hitting so many balls that we hit. And do your shit yourself. Unless you want to join that membership channel. I talk about this all the time, but you're at least going to give me some money. Join that membership channel. Get out there. It's give me $5. I don't do it in the $5 part. I think I do it in the $10 part. So give me $10 a month. At least. You know what I'm saying? There is something that has happened, and this is what I want to talk about too. What has happened to my eye. A lot of people asked me when I was in Florida about my eye. And I preach this, and I've talked about this. What happened to the eye is I detached the retina. I have scar tissue in it. When they put it all back together, it basically welded the retina back. What it did was tear my macula off, which is the back which collects the light that comes through the eye. So I lost my vision a little bit where it's distorted. And then I had to get cataract surgery, which cleared it up a little bit, but I still see waves. I don't, when I look at you, you're smaller, you know, but you're crisp, but it just looks like the line, like if you see this line right here, it's actually jagged like this. So my depth perception is messed up. If you guys go back and watch videos of me hitting, I'm nowhere close to what I used to be, you know, but what you do is you see videos of me hitting now, I'm closer than what I used to be. Way long time ago before the actual damage to the retina. And I talked to some people about it in Florida. What has happened was, and I talk about the 10,000 hours. And I said to hone your craft, to be good at what you do. And there's books out there that are written on this. And they talk about Michael Jordan. They talk about all these pro athletes out there that put in that 10,000 hours. And you actually get really good, right? So what I had to do with my eye is I had to start over again. I actually had to put the 10,000 hours over again by seeing the ball come in, not necessarily working on my swing, but by watching the ball come in and hitting it. It's been close to 4 years now since I damaged my right eye. And that's how long it took me with the BP that I take for that 10,000 hours. So that's the reason I'm hitting better now than I used to hit 2 years ago, 3 years ago, because I sucked when I tried to come back. You know, I sucked so bad I lost my position with Crush. And understandably, I know that because I couldn't play for them anymore because that was the Major Plus level. So the damage to the right eye, I couldn't play Major Plus anymore. I couldn't hit. So what I did was I put in the work, and that's why I'm telling you guys, don't give up. If you have an injury, put in the 10,000 hours again. It took me 3.5, 4 years to get it back, and I'm actually getting it back right now where I'm confident when I go into a tournament that I actually can hit. I'm seeing the ball a lot better. The damage has not gotten any better, a little bit better maybe in the right eye. I got some scar tissue that broke away. That actually helped it. Just stay at what you're doing. Don't give up. And I could have retired, guys. When I didn't play Major Plus anymore, I could have retired and just talk and do this. But I wanted to get out there because softball is a release for me. It is a stress, a stress reliever. It is an anxiety killer. Okay, hitting the weight room right outside this door. I've got a weight room in there. I'm going to start putting my weightlifting videos on that membership channel. That's a release for me, and I have to keep doing it. And then when I had damage right, I didn't know what I was going to do. Maybe went into a little bit of depression and then I said, I got to get back into it. I got to keep doing it. I got to keep hitting. And my guys put up with me, that actually hit with me because I hit like shit. And you guys notice that I put more video of me up right now because I've got my hitting back. So keep at it, guys. A couple of things I want to get to because I'm almost done here. There's one thing I want you guys, I don't have it here in front of me, but that I want you guys to start doing is bone broth. What that does, and I talked to a couple of seniors about it up in Florida about bone. They're asking me, what do you think about bone broth? And I go, the best thing you can take. A lot of you guys right now, Kirby Murphy, he got labrum tears, complete tears in his shoulder. Well, I told him, or I talked to him about this years ago, and he already knows this shit, but start consuming chicken. Okay, baked chicken. You guys know when you put a chicken, or your wife puts a chicken in the oven, it bakes it. Okay, that clear stuff in the bottom of the pan, that's collagen. It's not saturated fat. It's because saturated fat is the white stuff, right? So you have that clear stuff in the bottom when you boil a chicken or bake a chicken, or chicken broth or bone broth, bone marrow. Guys, when you have any kind of injury, like I told Clem, when Clem tore his Achilles, and I did the same thing when I tore my Achilles, is chicken broth, bone broth, that's helps you heal. Any kind of broth that you take helps you heal. I would actually add it to your diet right now where you're consuming chicken, with the, any kind of bone broth. Had it with your diet because it actually does strengthen tendons and actually does strengthen bones. That way, if you do have an injury, you're going to recover a lot faster. What happens with us seniors nowadays, we don't absorb a lot of stuff, and we think that bone broth, I'm not going to consume bone broth, but if you're playing a sport and you don't want to get injured and you do want to recover faster, these are little things that you got to take. You're not going to need collagen. I take collagen supplements. You go to the health food store, you either get bone broth supplement or you get a collagen supplement, and take them every day. And it says collagen right on it. Take it every day, especially if you have an injury, especially if you're hurting, if you had surgery, any kind of bone or tendon surgery, knee replacement surgery, start on your chicken broth, start eating a lot more chicken. That you have to do that. Where's your body at 60 years old, 65, 70 years old? How are you going to recoup, right? If you're not consuming, because I know damn good and well you're not consuming enough bone broth to actually heal yourself. Where are you going to get it from? You think your body's just going to come that shit out, pick that shit up out of midair? It's not. You got to consume it. You got to take it in your body to heal faster and better and, stronger. You know what I mean? To make it heal where it's good. Because if you don't have it, you're not going to heal, guys. That was bone broth that I'm talking about. Oh, man. Stem cell too, guys. I want to talk about that before I could talk. I'm not even close to being half. But here's the deal too. I'll leave a lot of that shit for next week because I'm already getting to an hour already. I've got at least 30 minutes on that. So I might go over thinking about it. The way of the future, like I talked about this right here, I think is the way of the future. Like I said, I did this before I went to Florida. I was strong on my last day as I was on my first day. I did not want to get dehydrated. I took my liquid IV. I ate good. I didn't eat a lot of fried anything. Didn't eat hamburgers. Didn't eat French fries. I ate stuff, you know, very little carbs, high protein. I did add a carb up in the morning a little bit, you know, with some oatmeal, and that was it. I kept during the day when we would play, there was a concession stand there. I got my wife when they get a hamburger, and I ate half the hamburger because I was getting down with energy. So once I ate half the hamburger, I was fine. Actually hit really good after that because I got that spike in that insulin level that was up, but not too much. But what we've turned into, and I think this is going in that direction as seniors, is we're going to have to take better care of ourselves. You know, keep moving, like Johnny Bailey talked about, you know, today about, you know, therapy and getting in the weight room or getting in hitting balls or just getting out and taking, you know, 50, 60, 70, 80 cuts. I went to DBAT last week because it was cold here, you know, and I hit balls at DBAT. I felt a lot better. I didn't want to go, guys. When I show up in the mornings, I don't want to do this shit to hit BP. I don't want to, but I know that I have to hit. You think I show up in the morning? You guys see that picture of me? I'll show that picture of me, and I got that what's that, that resting bitch face look in the mornings, and I say working. I don't want to be there. You know, for one, I got to be a dick to the guys and dictate what I need for them to do. And if they fucking around, I need them to get serious about what they're doing. You know, and a lot of guys are texting going, what do you mean work? Well, what we do, if you ever actually come out and watch us, it's work. You know, a lot of the guys are hitting down, hitting up the middle, hitting, you know, and then we're having fun, yes, because you look behind the scenes, but we're still concentrating on the bat that we're swinging, you know, giving our opinion. So I look at it as a job. So I don't want to, you know, I know I have to be there because I feel so much better when we're done. When we're done, I'm like, oh, now that stress is gone, you know. But what we've turned into, we have to get out and we still have to start moving. We have to do this shit. You have to, guys. You got to do, like, you know, this is get up and go. And then I got the immunity, you know, for during the off season, you know, to keep the viruses away. But stem cell is another one too. We talk about, you know, this is something that I think is the way of the future too. I know a lot about it. And I think that, you know, I did, you know, right away when you get hurt, automatically they're going to give you a steroid injection, which I totally agree with. I've had a few of those in my life. They work. And then if they kind of wear off a little bit, what I do is I do the rooster cone, you know, on my knee. I've done it on my back. And it kept me out of the operating room, basically, to try to repair something. God, you know, knock on wood, I haven't been in since my Achilles tear to actually try to repair anything, you know, sports related. But, you know, it's the stem cell is another thing too that I'm going to look into later on to keep me from getting knee replacement. Try to, you know, and my back, you know, because I do have a bad back, constantly stretching it. And to keep me going. Those AstroTurf infields kicked my ass in Florida, just to let you guys know. My back hurt. I don't think I could have played another game when I was up there. My back hurt so bad. That stem cell. There has been a lot more scammers. I actually do have a senior softball buy, sell, and trade. I did it about long time ago. I put up a senior softball buy, sell, and trade, probably one of the first ones out there, and I kind of didn't pay attention to it. Well, shit, I've got, you know, 1,500 followers on that. Well, come to find out that I have a few scammers in there that are trying to, you know, buy bats or have you send them bats, and, you know, are trying to sell you bats. You know, a lot of them are the OGs and the 2.0s, and, you know, bats that a lot of people want, and they'll put some kind of weird name on them. Guys, just don't go out and buy shit from people you don't know or nobody else knows. Try to get information on that person. Do a little research on them. Look at their page, which I do. If somebody tries to friend me, I'll always stalk them. You know, I'll look through their page and see where they're from, see where they're at, and see if they're legit. Usually when they have a lot, I usually, when they have a lot of followers, it usually means that they're pretty legit. My nurse is coming to check on me now.
The nurse is back in. One moment, please.
It's getting down there
Straight,
fast,
yeah.
though.
Yeah.
You're not the boss of me. Quit trying to turn it. Thank you. And guys, this usually takes this long to do this too, but it's well worth it. A lot of scammers out there that try to get you to just do research. Don't just go by. I ask questions about them like they do all the time. If the name looks weird, that's a red flag. Just look at the red flags, because there is a lot of, scammers that are out there that actually try to get you to actually buy shit from it or send them money. Don't do it. I'm going to talk about bats in a minute. I want to get to a few things. What you have out here, what kind of bothers me, and I was actually offered this years ago, and I never decided to do it. What a few of the bat review guys are doing, there's an easy way to find this. What a few of the bat review guys are doing out there, I'm not saying all of them, there's this small number are buying subscribers. And I know this for a fact because I was offered to buy subscribers for $50. Gives you 1,000 subscribers for $50. And on YouTube. And I think, what they're doing is trying to pump their numbers up on their subscribers. That way, when you see how many subscribers that you'll automatically start looking at their channel. Because shit, they've got 3,000 subscribers, Guys, do it the hard way. It took me a long time to get 1,000 subscribers. It took me a long time to get where I'm at right now. I never, and there's a way you can look this up and see who's doing it too. I've never actually bought viewership. I never bought subscribers. There are some people out there that will do it just to get the views because you're looking at somebody that's got 10,000 subscribers and all of a sudden, oh shit, they must be good, Don't bend the knee. There's a few more things before I start talking about bats I want to get to right here. Where's it at? There it is. It's right in here. This is a plus. And I'm starting to realize this when people start calling me and asking me about inserts. As we get older, we lose our arch support. Everybody loses arch support. So as you get older, you're going to have to invest in some inserts. All right. These are the ones that I bought. These are old. I paid I paid a little bit, but this is a $600 insert. And it actually has a big arch support in it right here because I have flat feet. It does help out quite a bit. I charged $600 for it and I had to fit it to my feet. So I actually had to cut it to my feet. So yeah, I bought these $600. I got somebody to mold my feet, and put it in there, and it does help quite a bit. If you're having any kind of hip problem, any kind of knee problem, ankle problem, guys, start looking at getting arch supports. I will say this, I paid $600 for those, and these are just as good, and I bought them for $40 right here. And again, you have to mold, you cut them for your feet, but this is another arch support that you can buy at Academy or Dick's Sports. At least get some of these. Actually support your arch a little bit. If you guys are having Achilles problems, I know this for a fact. And if you guys are having any kind of Achilles problem, you got to get heel support. You got to get that heel elevated. Takes pressure off the Achilles. So if you find yourself somewhere and you have Achilles hurting, because that's not a good thing when your Achilles hurt, it's breaking down that tendon. I know this for a fact because that's what happened to mine. So if you can relax that, if you can get that heel up in the air, which takes pressure off the calf muscle, that's a plus. So guys, if you have any kind of Achilles tendon soreness, ice the shit out of it. If you have to, take some injections to get it where the inflammation is out. Inflammation deteriorates the tendon. So you want to get that heel up in the air, and put some kind of support underneath your heel only, not necessarily your arch, but get that heel up in the air. and take pressure of it so he can heal, because it's not going to heal if you constantly got that thing in a stretched. If you got that Achilles in a stretched, get it up off the heel. Oh, man. Cold weather again, guys. Going to be 50 next week. 60 is the high. We're not going to hit unless that front blows through, guys. The same time every year. And I know if it's like that down in San Antonio, Texas, it's going to be like that worse up there. And then you guys can start posting. I cracked my bat with 10 swings. I cracked my bat. I was hitting indoors. Don't do that shit. You know, this bat's a piece of shit because it took 10 swings and I cracked it. Every year you see that shit out there. Well, why did it crack? You shouldn't be swinging your gamers, for one. You shouldn't be swinging your gamers after October, November. After Worlds, you should throw your gamers and start swinging a shit bat. And then again next year, when you start up March, you know, your first tournament, unless you're playing in Florida and February, you know, Winter Worlds, is that in February next year? Unless you're playing there, then start back up again, swinging your gamer. But these bats are so high tech, it's not going to take much, you know. So baby them. A lot of people are asking me, what did I swing in Florida? So I need to get to that too. A lot of people are asking me, what did I swing in Florida? 3 days. I swung the JBI first day, JBI the second day, cracked it on that Sunday morning, my first swing. If you watch the video, you can hear that bat makes a different sound. Cracked it. 850 swings on it. Okay, on my JBI. Somebody asked me the other day, are you cracking your JBIs? No, I'm not. Haven't had a JBI that cracked. JBI. God damn. Sorry, Johnny. Johnny Bailey. Dude, that's bad. I'm so sorry about that. Calling you JBI. Johnny Bailey. Cracked it on Sunday morning, and then I went to the Retro Dudley and finished the tournament out on the Retro Dudley. I don't think I made it out with it. But yeah, a lot of people are asking me about that Johnny Bailey bat, and it's not cracking, guys. I have 2 of them, and they're not cracking. But yeah, a lot of guys asking me about that. But cold weather, guys, put the bats away. You know, I think I did a lot of video because it was in the 80s yesterday. Day before, Tuesday was in the 80s, and the next week is supposed to be a little cold, but I'll be out of town next weekend. But I think I got enough to finish up the whole month, and then I'll get back into other videos, not necessarily about doing bat reviews, because I'm going to shut it down, because I don't want, unless it gets hot, I'm going to shut it down. If we have a day or two that gets out there that, you know, heat everything up, then we'll get the guys out there to do that. I was up, and listen to this shit. I was up in Florida, and it was probably 65 degrees. We were playing one day, and I was catching, and one of the guys hit, and I reached over and grabbed his barrel, and his barrel was hot. So what they're doing, a few guys are doing, it's the first time but I've heard about it, is they're putting those heat wraps on those barrels, and which is not illegal, for one, but they're putting heat wraps on barrels, and they're taking them out of the dugout, and they're going up there hit with them. Have I tested it? No. But in theory, I would say, shit, that's not a bad idea, because anytime it gets cold on that carbon, heat or coldness doesn't affect it too much, but the rosin, anytime that rosin gets cold, it could get a little fragile, and it doesn't flex as much. So it's not if you're looking at common sense, you know, and it's not a bad idea to actually heat up that barrel a little bit, you know, get that to flex a little bit more. And I think that's the reason that he was doing it. I need to test that. I actually need to do that and get where I get a barrel warmer and then start hitting them, especially this time of year. I might do that and do a separate video on it and actually see if it does add a little bit more flex whenever those barrels do get hard, because they do stiffen up. If you put a barrel out there and it's 50 degrees, that barrel will stiffen up on you. The ball better more than the barrel. You know, the ball will really get hard on you if you get under so many degrees, you know, of temperature. You know, 7 degrees, ball's different. Isn't that This is what we've turned into. And there's not that much information about this out there readily available to a lot of you guys, is about, you know, what kind of ball and what kind of weather. And I want to actually on my website put that up there, where, you know, if you're playing in Florida, ball's going to perform different for you. If you're in the heat, and then if you're playing up north, you know, ball's going to perform different for you. So I talked about this in another video, and I know it's a pain in the ass, but different balls for different regions, you know, and I think this is the future. I think that one day we're going to be doing that, you know, because it sucks that you're hitting this ball up in Colorado, you know, at that Aurora, you know, up there in Colorado, that big tournament every year. You take that same ball down to Texas or Florida and it doesn't perform as well. You know, so a lot of people won't show up those Texas tournaments or Florida tournaments or Southern California tournaments because they know that ball's not going to perform for them. So that's what we've turned into as senior players. I'm not talking about the kids because it doesn't freaking really matter, I think, with those guys. Bat speed's over 100 miles an hour, but when you get into that lower miles an hour, you got to look at all this shit too. Fasting once every 2 weeks, guys. I'm going to kind of go through a lot of this shit. Fasting once every 2 weeks. I'm done. I'm going to save the rest for next week. One of the biggest things you can do, and I talked about this 2 weeks ago, whenever I did this last, is if you have an injury, fast at least 24 hours, because that fasting releases human growth hormone a lot, not just a little bit, a lot. Well, helps heal your body. And look this up. Go Google it. Go to YouTube. Push in fasting and human growth hormone. Whenever you fast, you release a lot of human growth hormone. Human growth hormone helps the body heal. Your pituitary gland will pulsate human growth. It does it at nighttime. When you get that 4-hour REM sleep, rapid eye movement, you know, when you get to the dreaming part, that's your 4 hours sleep. That's when your human growth hormone starts to pulsate, and it starts shooting growth all through your body to heal. When I left Florida, I didn't eat. I fasted. You know, right when we left that afternoon, I didn't eat. I was in the airport. My wife was eating because we didn't eat that. I ate that morning. That's it. So I didn't eat till the next day. So I've tried to fast 24 hours. I went a bit longer. And because my body needed to heal, my ankles, I couldn't hardly walk when I got on the plane. And I knew that if I fasted, I would release human growth hormone, pulsate. So it helps you do it.
Almost.
It's almost done. How long has it been? An hour? Yeah. Sorry.
There it goes.
Just that? Am I bending it too much?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
My bad.
Okay, 5 minutes on it.
Okay, 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
10.
Okay, 10 minutes. All right, I'm done with that. Let me talk about bats now. And I'm not trying to be a dick here. I'm really not. I hate when people sends me something, and I know it's not beneficial to you, and it's prematurely that they send it to me, so I'll post a picture of it, right? And unbeknownst to me that it was premature. But for some reason, because of my platform, they want to get it in my hands to show people. That way, what happens, if I'm showing it to you, a lot of people are watching me and it gets out there. So it's basically using me as an advertising. I don't want to do that. But for one, I haven't done a review on the bat, and I don't know how it performs. So what I get is when I show pictures of the bat on social media, I get this text message, you know, on Messenger going, can you please, I didn't give that bat to you to put pictures up. Can you please take it off until the bat comes out in January? Okay, not a problem. But I'm not going to talk about your bat on my Facebook page. If you're not letting me put a picture of it, twice in the last month, guys, this has happened. Send me a bat, brand new senior bat from a company, a well-known company that started jumping over to seniors. Automatically, I post it up, and they get butthurt because I posted it up. Can you please not post that until it gets released in January? No problem. I took it down. You guys know what it is. I took it down. And then he texted me the next day. I said, I texted him, why did you give me the bat then? Oh, okay, I know why you gave me the bat. You gave me the bat so I'd get up here and talk about it. I'm not gonna. This is not free advertisement, guys. I'm not that guy. I don't do advertising. I do reviews on bats that you put out. I'm not doing that shit. So I'm not showing your bat until January, guys. The guy told me not to do it, and I know you're just gonna have to wait. We hit it, yes. It's not gonna be put out there on video, and this is the reason why. You guys don't want a review on it. You just want me to hit it in video. That's the reason you sent it to me. Because when you guys out there see me hit it in video, you're going to think that's a good bat. I've had one guy that had his name on the bat, and it wasn't a good bat, but we just started the review. We're just here to break this bat in. And da-da-da's bat, from this big, well-known company, had his name on it. He texted me 2 days later and said, hey, thanks for the review. It was awesome. Fuck, I didn't do the review on the bat. Oh, you watched the video of me putting the bat up on the first round. That's all they want. So you're using me as free advertising. I'm not doing that anymore. When your shit gets released, it's going out there. I'm not your fucking advertising thing for you. I'm not trying to be a dick or anything, but you're using me, and you're not telling me you're using me, but you're using me. And you do a lot of this shit to the other bat review guys, right? You have them out there and they're testing your bat, and you just put that video up there and testing your bat. I'm not doing that shit. That's a disservice to the guys that actually watch my channel, because they might buy the bat and go, fuck, this is on your video. I hadn't finished it yet. I hadn't finished it. Chino knows what I'm talking about. We talk about this shit when we're out there. Not going to do that anymore, guys. So that bat right there is not going to be shot. I'm going to just pull them out. I'm not going to go. I've got 20 freaking bats right here. I'm going to try to go through them. This one right here. That is the new Onyx. I'm going to try to talk and try to grab something over here. That is the new Onyx they just came out with. If you guys saw this bat, this is the 12-inch. I've been swinging it. This is not last year's bat. This is a actual prototype. This is a 12-inch. It's got a softer barrel on it. I think this is not the one that has a softer barrel on it. This bat's right here got a lot of swing. It's got striations all in the barrel. And then this is actually the production model. This bat right here. I'm going to do everything with my left hand because I got to keep that down. This is the production model right here. This is the new bat that's out from Onyx, 12-inch barrel. It's a 2-piece. What he did was he added more weight to the handle. I talked about this earlier in the video. He added more weight to the handle on this bat. It's got that thin-ass handle on it. You can see the serial numbers on it right there. Somebody asked me the other day, this is just my personal opinion, not anybody else's, because I did swing the white one more. I did swing the white one more than I did everything else. So I can tell you this about this bat. Is the 2-piece orange and blue one as good as the prototype? No. It's better. Not a lot, but it's a little bit. Okay? And somebody texted me today about that, and I said, surprisingly, I don't know what Carlos did. It's got to be something to do with the paint job, maybe. But this bat does perform a little bit better. I'm not talking about 10, 15 feet better. It got there faster. I'm getting a lot more performance on line drives, a lot more carry on this bat right here than I was getting on the prototype that they sent me. There is some video coming out on this bat next couple of days, and I'm going to put them over the weekend. I'm going to start pumping videos out to you guys over the weekend. And it's got a soft barrel. Yes, it does. A soft herb barrel. It's not going to soften up like the Johnny Bailey or the Mikens or the Alan Tanner. It's not going to do that. But this bat is, I think, going to be a good bat. One thing I do have, because he did go up on a handle weight and I hit it yesterday, I do have consistency when I'm hitting it. So I didn't have that with the orange. It had the orange barrel, the red barrel. Remember the 12-inch from last year? That review, I'm not going to tell you, Douglas, that review will be out. I'm done with that review. That's a very good bat. I'll tell you that. That's what I'll tell you on that teal bat. He's talking about the teal bat. He's talking about this one right here. What's your opinion on it? I love this bat. Everybody that swung this bat loves this bat. I'm going to try to look for and let you see it. And I bet I don't have it right here in front of me. There it is. Guys, if you guys can see this, look at the striations and look at the striations in those barrels. You can see that right there. See, those aren't paint chips. Those are striations in the barrel that actually, that's how much that bat flexes. This bat is making an imploding sound right now. And it is hot, you know, but again, those are going to be one of those bats where you keep hitting it and you get to that imploding, your bat speed is going to be too high. So you're going to take it and you're going to give it to another senior that has that diminishing bat speed. That bat is a 13.5-inch barrel, and it swings like a 12-inch barrel. I don't know how to explain that. You have to talk to Carlos about that shit. I'll talk about that one in a minute. So you have to talk to Carlos about that, on what he did. That review on this bat will be out this next week, too. I've got a shit ton of video I have to work on. Louisville Robo. Do you want to get in here and do this now? Or you want to talk? The Louisville Robo, let me talk. You guys saw that, right? I'm going to let her get in here and do this. Are you going to get in here now? That bat is hard as shit. Somewhere that he said in a video when he's swinging it, that's bats for everybody. It's not for everybody. But just watch the review. I don't want to get too far into it where I'm doing the reviews while I'm doing this Facebook Live. I'm not going to talk about that. This review is out. It's going to be on that Robo, hard barrel, hard flex. You 100-mile-an-hour guy is probably going to like it. You know, like him. He's got that 100-mile-an-hour. It's a senior bat. And watch what you're doing now.
I have to watch where I'm stepping. Sorry, guys. I'm interrupting the podcast. Sorry.
Oh, you're okay. Is it done already? Mm-hmm. Okay. On that Robo, it's not for everybody. You know, the one thing I will say, it's got a very small sweet spot on it right now, but watch the video of us hitting it, and then you're going to decide for yourself. It's just not a bat for your 60, 65, 70-year-old guys with that diminishing bat speed.
You want me to take it out now or later?
No, you can take it out later.
Later. Okay.
Yeah, if you want to.
Yep.
Because it's not bothering anything.
Okay.
All right.
You're good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So this is the anonymous. This is the new one. Law just came in, and what we're getting with this bat, and I'll talk to him about it later, is we hit the shit out of this bat. Durability is there. The one thing we are getting, great performance on this bat. You guys can wait for the review. It will make my top 5. I don't know. I know where I'm going to put it, but I'm not going to tell you. But it did make my top 5 as being one of the best bats of this year that is out there. The one thing we are getting with it right now, I haven't swung that bat from Iconic. I've been asked about that bat, the Mac. So what we're getting with this bat is we've got 800 swings on it. I think I said 850 the other day when I did the count. 850 swings on it, and it changed sounds, but not to the good. It changed sounds where it started making a ceramic sound. First bat I've ever swung that actually did that. And you're right, Chino, it did great performance on this bat. But you notice it started changing sounds on us too. You weren't there on Thursday, but on Thursday it started getting really bad. And the performance was still there, but I don't know what they did to the carbon, but it started off hitting great. And then it hit great, but it changed sounds. And I didn't understand why the sound went back to almost like a ceramic sound, you know? So there's something, it's got over 800 swings on it. What do you expect? I mean, it's going to have to die somewhere, but it's not dying as much. It's not like, boom, it just died. We're just not hearing the sound that we used to hear, and we're still getting the performance on it. This one right here, the Megalo, this will be out next week too. The one thing about this bat, I will say on this bat is it's the Suncoast. It's the 1 ounce end load. It is a 1 ounce end load. It's got that 8, what did I say? It's got that 8 on the hand, 17-0 on the end. Great numbers, great balance points numbers on this bat. The Mega, what they did to this bat, and I'm going to tell you what they did. They added extra strength to the barrel to handle that 17.88 on the hands with that 17-ounce end load. So they're going in that direction where it's going to take a little bit longer to get there. This is not hot out of the wrapper bat. You can't take this bat out, buy it on the shelf, and just start taking it out. Buy it on the bus and on the trailer and take it out and start hitting it. It's going to take some work to get this barrel to flex for you. This review will be out next week. We're going to hit it one more time though. I think I'm going to give it one more chance. It's not a bad bat, guys. It's not a bad bat. It's a very good bat. This review on this bat will be out. What the hell? This is not. That's a Proton. One piece. I thought it was the end load. It's not. This one will be out. This is the 50 cal. This review will be out next week too. I'm already done with this one. It is not like, guys, remember the 50 cal from last year before? I did a good review on that. I thought it was great. This bat's not as good as that bat. It takes longer to get there, and we gave it a shot. We've got two of them, 26 and 27. One is Clem's, one is mine. 26 is mine, 27 is Clem's. It's just not getting the performance that those other bats got, that other 50 cal got, that I really fell in love with. The barrel doesn't get as soft. They harden up this barrel for some reason. I have no idea why they did that. You'd have to talk to them. Wig Popper. This review will be out next week. You guys see that we actually cracked this one. This one had over 600 swings on it when we cracked it. The video will be out on it. You can see that it's all beat up. Guys, got over 600 swings on it. We just cracked it the other day in 70, 75 degree weather. And it's got a little shark tooth in it right there. This review will be out next week. Got a lot of swings on it and it cracked. Good bat, guys. Good bat. Watch the review on it. You guys are asking me, is it as good as the red one? Watch the review. If I tell you everything right now, you're not going to watch my reviews on the bats. ASA. Video up on this week. Good ASA bats, guys. Where's the other one? Hot Butter ASA 2-piece. That one was a 1-piece on the Smith. This is Proton 2-piece ASA. Okay. Good bat on ASA. Watch the video on this one too. If they're a turd on the ASA, I'm going to tell you they're a turd. This bat right here, a lot of you guys were asking me questions about this bat. Basically what you got here, I'm going to put these two up next to each other. Both of them are very good bats. I'm not going to do a review on the bottom one. Basically what you have here is two of the same bats. They're both the same. One might be weighted different than the other one, but they're both the same. They're just painted a different color. Very good bats. They're on my top. They're my number one on my middle bat speed. Really good bats. This review will be out this next week too. This is the 2-piece Hot Butter. This is the 2-piece Hot Butter. And what you got here too, they're good too. So you got the 2-piece Hot Butter and you got the 2-piece regular. I think they're 13-inch barrels on this one too. Both the same bat, same shell, same barrel. Both very good bats. This is an end load. I'm gonna put that one over there. That one will be out next week too on that one. A lot of you guys asked me about Proton. That bat will be out. I'm gonna talk about this one in a minute. Oh man, I think no, this is the 2-piece Hot Butter. And I hope I put them two together over there. Talked about that one. Anarchy. Gas. Mixed feelings about it. Review will be out next week. And I'll tell you what we think about this bat. Consistency not there. And we talk about that in the reviews. Performance, the way it's loaded, it flexes too much. If you guys look at this bat, you can see that it's got a long-ass thin. When you do that with that long-ass thin handle, you tend to get a lot more flex in that handle. And you're pushing big mass here. You got a 16.8 with an 8.6 on the hands. Great numbers. But if you don't have a barrel that will respond, you've got to be a stud to hit this bat. You've got to be that 60, you know, that, not that 60, but that, you know, that 100 mile an hour, 99, 98, 97 mile an hour bat speed, you'll get good performance on it. You know, I've seen guys hit this bat, and a lot of the kids hit this bat, great performance. But if you're old like me, you know, and you have that diminishing bat speed, this bat's not for you. The review will be out on it next week, and you guys can see. I was asked about this a while ago, and we just started swinging this, and I'm going to talk about it. There's two more before I get to Alan Tanner, and I want to talk about it. That one's not going. All right. Cali Gold. You were asking me about this. This is a balanced bat. The numbers on it, I do not remember. Yeah, I do. Numbers on it is a 16.5 on the end, and you've got a 10 on the hands, exactly 10 on the hands. That's a balanced bat. Good bat. We're going to hit it a lot more. We are hitting it on Tuesday and Thursday. I was going to put a teaser video up on it. We're getting really good performance on this bat. It's a good bat, guys. This Cali Gold on DeMarini. It's a good bat, but it's a balanced bat. So we're going to put it, you know, in that balanced category, and it's called the Cali Gold, and we will finish that one up. I'm gonna hit it again next week because it's teeter-tottering within 1, 2, or 3 in my balance side. You know, it's got that medium barrel. Barrel's not that soft like the Paul Sadler. It's not that, you know, I've been here too long talking about this shit when I start talking like that. It doesn't have that soft barrel, but it has that medium barrel. Paul Sadler is on that soft barrel. Let's see if there's anything else. A lot of you guys asking me about this battery. They're cracking. This is a 27 ounce. They've got that seam on them that's down here at the bottom, going through the mic the M. They got that seam on them, but we haven't cracked one of these yet. Johnny Bailey. I have 2 of these right here. I think that's it. I'll talk about these before I talk about the one in the end. Dudley. This is the Dudley Lightning 12-inch barrel. It is a retro legend. You can see it right there. Retro legend. Good bat. I like it. You guys see me hit it in the video when I'm hitting in Florida. I hit it on Sunday. I actually love that bat. It's going to be in my top, at least my top 2. I'm either going to put it in that medium or that hard barrel side. I'm probably going to be in the medium because I don't swing any bats on that hard barrel side. So it's probably going to be on my medium, and it's going to be ranked pretty high. It's going to be up there, in my opinion, with the Anonymous. The Anonymous is up there too. That whole structure is going to change, and I'm just throwing you 2 bats up there that I would actually put in that number 1, number 2 spot right now. And one's the Anonymous, and the other one is that Dudley. You know, Dudley has came out this year on the senior softball market, and they actually did some shit right. You know, I think that Dudley bat, that legend bat, that retro 12-inch barrel is not like the Masteries. It's not like the Party Time and the Bobby Nifon. It's changes. It's actually gotten pretty soft. It's got softer than those bats. Not pretty soft, but it's softer than those bats. And I like that. I'm that guy that likes that medium soft barrel, you know, right in between there, you know, not too soft, but medium soft barrel. And I think Dudley is headed in a direction where, you know, best bat, in my opinion, that is the best Dudley bat since the 2.0. You guys talk about the lift. I never liked the lift. I thought the lift was a piece of shit. All of them. And I did hit them 600, 700, 800 swings. I don't, you know, a lot of you guys would take 600 swings to get there. No bat should take 600 swings to get there for one. And I did give that bat a chance, and I did put 1,000 swings on those bats, and they just never opened up on us. And I swung more than one, so it just wasn't a blimp. Next, the last one I'm going to get done with, because I'm running a really long here, guys, is the Alan Tanner, the AT-18, the new one right here, the 2-piece. All you guys in Florida were asking me about this bat. I will say this. I was disappointed for the first 3 weeks. And then all of a sudden Tuesday, wow, it opened up, like started making a different sound. Richard Clem hits with this bat on Tuesday. He loves it now. It made a different sound, and it started to open up, and then hit it again on Thursday and got tremendous performance. I'm not talking about a little bit. It got tremendous performance on it. It's got that soft barrel now. But if you guys remember on these Micans that came out, same thing. And I told you guys in Florida when I talked to you guys, just give it a chance on that Mican, those Micans, and the Worth bat right now, because I didn't know in Florida what this bat was going to do, this AT-18 was going to do. But now we know, because we got it back. We hit it quite a bit on the first round with the spinners. I think it got it a little bit loosened up. It takes about 150, 200 swings to get it actually where it is going to loosen up, but do not give up on it. And it will actually start to perform for you. It has for us. And that's going to be, I'm not going to put that review out next week. It'll probably be the week after. You know, I'll want to get all my reviews out in November. That way we go in December, where a lot of you guys don't have to look for reviews anymore. I try to do this every year. At the end of the year, I tried to do it last year, but I couldn't get enough on my top 2023 senior softball bats. And because it's going to be a little harder, because I do have 30 bats that are going to be in that different categories. We went from soft barrel to medium barrel to hard barrel. So I'm going to talk about all of that. In that, I think what we're running into, and I'm done, what we're running into this year, and this is probably the longest one I've done, but what we're running into this year and running into next year, going into next year, is a lot of these bat companies that have had the market, and UTRIP and ASA are actually they want to get that senior market, you know, your TPS, your Louisville, you know, your monster bats. So a lot of people are asking about the monster bats, and guys, I've got so much on my plate right now that I've got to get through with them, and you guys are wanting the monster review, and I you know, they're sending me clippings of this bat where I can buy them, and I've got so much going on, and it's starting to get cold here, and I will not do a review in 60-degree weather. I just won't do that. It's got to be 70, close to 70, 65, because that's the technology that we live in nowadays. I see next year as being bigger than this year. I thought this year was the biggest. It used to be where I held, guys, I'd do 5 reviews a year. How many I've done this year? 15, 20? You know, reviews, probably even more than that. And I think what has happened is, and it's good for you guys because you have so much to pick for. And hopefully we got to get a lot more bat review guys out there that are actually helping me out and doing their own little review. That way you can get not just my opinion from other people too. What I really want to do is thank you guys for coming up to me. What means a lot to me when you come up to me and say, hey, thanks for what you do, because I pick a lot of my bats from you. And I said, you know, that means a lot to me, you know, when you guys come up and do that. And I'm almost embarrassed about it because, I don't think I'm that guy, you know, or when you want to take pictures, I don't think I'm that guy. I really don't. I'm humble that way. I'm just trying to give you guys a service and talking to you, but give you a better quality of life when it comes to nutrition or doing things that you need to do to get ready for the game, because you do put in a lot of work, you know. And if I can help you guys out, like I told my wife, I can save one guy, you know, talking about sleep apnea. If I can save one guy, I'm happy. You know, I've done my job. And if I can help you and guide you in a way where you don't have to spend $600 to pick your favorite bat, I'm all in for it. And it's just, I like doing it. I love doing it. I love getting out there and working, putting in the work, getting that stress relief when we get out there. And a lot of my guys are out there for that, you know, just out there, not out there to have fun. So we're creating a service for you guys. So when you guys come up, you know, I'm almost like, okay, thanks a lot. But it means a lot. And I told you guys this when you came up to me. It really does mean a lot to us, guys. I'll see you again next week. Hopefully it won't be as long, but that's what happens when you miss a week. You try to get caught up. And Chino was asking me the other day, are you going to run out of material? Guys, I have got so much shit I'm going to talk about within the next, when you guys are at home and not playing ball, I'm going to keep it going and talk about just so much shit that's out there that'll benefit, get your quality of life back. You know, little things you can do, little weights you can. If you can't handle weight, there's weights that I can tell you to do or give you to do that actually will make you hit better next year. You know, the approach to the game. You know, what's his name was talking to me about the approach because I played against him. No, I can't think of his name. I played against him. I hit against him, and he goes, "I like your approach. I like where you're focused." You know, and that's another thing too. I want to do these little clips on the membership channel and talk about how do I approach the plate. You know, what do I do? You know, just all different kind of shit that we can share with you guys. Then obviously, it's not going to be all about bat reviews. You know, that when we'll kick that off when it comes to that. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm long-winded. I've got to go drink some water. Thanks, guys.